There should be a marker here celebrating Newell Barber. Well, it didn't take 100 years. It only took 96. Thank you, Brian. And thanks for everyone else who's been involved with this. 96 years ago, September 6, 1920, just a few feet from where we stand right now, this former farmer's field was dedicated as Medford's first airport. And they named it for 20-year-old Newell Barber. 10,000 people stood right here. 2,000 decorated automobiles that paraded all the way from Medford to the countryside here. The forecast was for rain, but the sun broke right through the clouds that morning, and by afternoon temperatures rose into the upper 70s. Well, the Mail Tribune reported that there wasn't an accident at all, not a hitch. Not an unpleasant feature marred this big occasion. But who was Newell Barber? Newell was born in February 1898 in Shullsburg, which is a small town in southwest Wisconsin. He was the only son of Martin C. Barber and his wife, Teresa Osborne. Newell had just one sister. Dr. Barber brought his family to Medford in the summer of 1911, and he bought a home on West Main Street, set up his medical offices. In 1917, Newell was a senior at Medford High, which at that time was up by where the county courthouse is now. On March 19th, 1917, 2 weeks before President Woodrow Wilson asked for a declaration of war, Newell Barber and 13 other Jackson County boys joined Uncle Sam's Aviation Corps. They headed south for flight training. Now, Newell hadn't graduated yet, but because of his patriotism, the high school sent him his high school diploma. Newell learned to fly in San Diego and Berkeley, California. And in fact, he was the first of the Jackson County boys to actually get an airplane into the air. "I want to tell you," he told his parents, "there's nothing on God's green earth that can beat it. I would not quit flying for anything. You just can't beat it." Newell was commissioned a second lieutenant in the Army in January 1918 and left for France that March. In the afternoon of August 11th, 1918, while returning at 5,000 feet from a bombing run over German lines near the Belgian border, a swarm of German biplanes overwhelmed Newell's squadron. "We were having a combat with a superior number of planes," Newell's commander wrote in a letter to the boys' parents. "We were under extremely heavy bombardment also from anti-aircraft on the ground. Barely 5 miles from safety, a bullet, or perhaps a shell fragment, ripped through a wing. The plane lurched for a moment, rolled over, and fell into the hazy air below. Just 93 days before that war would be over, 20-year-old Newell Barber was gone, never to be seen again. For a month, his parents deceived themselves, believing their son might just be a prisoner of war. They heard nothing from the government. Then, Newell's commander ended their optimism. While standing in the post office downtown Medford, Dr. Barber pulled out a letter, opened it, and burst into tears and fell to his knees. Crushing the message between quivering hands, he kept crying. In 1919, the French government awarded Newell the Croix de Guerre, the War Cross, for his valor, and his name has been added to the tablets of the missing men at Annemasse American Cemetery in France. A year and a half later, September 6, 1920, Dr. and Mrs. Barber were honored right here as guests at this airfield's dedication. Newell's eulogy at that dedication was given by a local attorney and well-known person at the time, Porter Neff, who said, "We are here to dedicate this place to the use of those brave spirits who fly through the air and, by flying, carry with them their mortal bodies. Surely that spirit dares all things and knows no fear, and finds its highest expression in these intrepid men who soar away from earth. It's fitting that we honor this spot with a name made forever glorious by the life and death of a hero. It is well that our children and their children, yet unborn, should have constantly before them this reminder that they tread on heroic soil, that here under these skies, in the shadow of these mountains, there lived and grew to young manhood a hero who knew not fear and who willingly gave to his country his young life, and how he faced death without flinching. Upon their hearts should be engraved those last brave words he spoke to his mother as he boarded that train to head south. If I should go, I want you to know that I go as a true American. I am not a slacker. I am not afraid. I will do my duty. Above all, it's fitting that there should be impressed upon our manhood and our womanhood, Porter said, this solemn truth, that this country and this flag were bought for us at the price of this young hero's life and the lives of thousands of others of his mold. The mortal dust of Newell Barber we cannot find anymore. We cannot have him. It lies in far-off Flanders, in some spot unmarked and unknown. But the soul of Newell Barber, his noble spirit of heroism and self-sacrificing love of country, is ours forever. That is who Newell Barber is. Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. I try to post a new video at least every week, so we're looking forward to seeing you again. You might like the video that you see down there on the left, too. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Hope to see you next time. Thanks again. Have a great day.